The dark truth of Los Angeles isn't found in its cinematic skylines or the shimmering promise of Hollywood, but in the 10 extreme situations that victims will never forget. Stories buried beneath the glitz. This city, once a beacon of aspiration, innovation, and an almost mythical promise of a better life, now harbors a chilling undercurrent. Why did this city collapse so fast, transforming from a sun-drenched paradise into a labyrinth of chaos and despair for so many? We've all seen the postcards, the dreams sold on screen. But what if that entire illusion was built on a foundation of profound human cost? A reality far more insidious than any blockbuster villain. Prepare to confront the hidden narratives, the forgotten corners where innocence was shattered, and the very soul of a city seemed to fray. We will peel back the glossy veneer, revealing the raw, unvarnished experiences that challenge every preconceived notion, because some truths, once witnessed, can never be unseen. Before the shadows grew long, Los Angeles was a name whispered with reverence, a synonym for reinvention. It was a place where anyone, with enough grit and a little luck, could carve out their destiny. We remember the golden age, the vibrant streets teeming with artists, dreamers, and innovators, a city pulsating with a unique magic. The air itself felt charged with possibility, a sense of boundless opportunity that drew millions from every corner of the globe. From the sprawling orange groves to the nascent film studios, it was a land of milk and honey, a testament to human ingenuity and the American spirit. The iconic palm trees swayed under endless blue skies, a silent witness to countless success stories, a tangible symbol of hope for generations. This was the Los Angeles etched into our collective consciousness, a place where the future felt bright, almost tangible. But then something shifted. A subtle, almost imperceptible tremor at first, beneath the glittering facade. The magic began to curdle, replaced by an insatiable greed that seeped into the very foundations of the city. We saw it happen. A slow, agonizing decay, as the pursuit of profit overshadowed the well-being of its people. The promises started to ring hollow, the dreams turning to dust for countless individuals who arrived seeking solace, only to find themselves ensnared in a web of desperation. The very systems designed to protect, to uplift, began to fail catastrophically, leaving gaping wounds in the fabric of society. This wasn't a sudden cataclysm, but a creeping moral erosion, a quiet surrender to darker forces. The vibrant streets, once a canvas for ambition, slowly became stages for quiet tragedies. Consider the stark reality of the housing crisis, a wound that festers deep within the city's heart. Once, owning a modest home here was an achievable dream for working families, a cornerstone of stability. But over the past 3 decades, average home prices have skyrocketed by over 500%, while wages have stagnated. This isn't just a statistic, it's a direct assault on the middle class, pushing countless families to the brink, forcing them into a desperate struggle for survival. Data from the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority reveals a staggering 66% increase in homelessness in just the last 10 years, a truly horrifying figure that speaks volumes about the depth of this crisis. We've all felt the pinch of rising costs, the anxiety of an uncertain future. But imagine losing everything, your entire sense of security irrevocably shattered, simply because the cost of living became an insurmountable wall. You felt this too, that gnawing fear of not being able to keep up, of being left behind. What happens when the very ground beneath your feet gives way, when the promise of shelter becomes a luxury only the ultra-rich can afford? This is just one of 10 extreme situations, a stark example of how a city's soul can be corroded. But wait until you see what came next, how this desperation fueled even more terrifying events, ones that defy belief and leave an indelible mark on their victims. We're talking about more than just financial ruin. We're talking about the complete collapse of human dignity. We remember the golden era, when children played freely in the parks, when neighborhood watch programs were more about community bonding than desperate self-preservation. The streets of Los Angeles once hummed with a different kind of energy, a hopeful pulse, where diverse cultures mingled and celebrated openly.
Families would gather for block parties, doors were left unlocked, and a sense of collective security permeated the air. There was a shared understanding, an unspoken pact, that this sprawling metropolis, for all its vastness, was still a collection of interconnected villages, each with its own rhythm and soul. The magic of those evenings, under the glow of streetlights, felt eternal, a testament to a city that truly believed in its people. But as the economic chasm widened, as the promise of a stable home evaporated, a different kind of darkness began to creep in. The same streets that once echoed with laughter now carried the chilling whisper of fear. The erosion of opportunity, the desperation born from losing everything, created fertile ground for crime to flourish. We've all seen the statistics, the headlines, but the reality is far more visceral. Gangs, once confined to specific territories, began to expand their reach, preying on the dispossessed, offering a twisted sense of belonging to those abandoned by the system. The vibrant cultural tapestry started to fray, replaced by invisible lines of territorial dispute, where a wrong turn could mean disaster. The collective soul of the community, once so strong, began to fracture under the weight of this new, terrifying reality. The Los Angeles Police Department's own reports paint a grim picture, detailing a significant surge in violent crime, particularly robberies and aggravated assaults in areas struggling with economic downturns. In the last 5 years alone, certain districts have seen an alarming increase of over 30% in these categories. This isn't just about petty theft. It's about brazen daylight attacks, carjackings, and home invasions that leave psychological scars far deeper than any physical wound. The sense of safety, once a birthright, became a luxury. We've heard the stories of individuals losing their life savings, their sense of security, their very peace of mind, all at the hands of those driven by desperation or pure malice. What happens when the very streets you walk, the places you once called home, become a gauntlet of fear? You felt this too, that tightening in your chest when you walk alone at night, the instinct to check your locks twice, the subtle shift in your daily routine to avoid certain areas. We've all witnessed the growing tension, the palpable anxiety that now hangs heavy in the air. The loss isn't just financial, it's the loss of trust, the erosion of the fundamental belief that your community will protect you. It's the feeling of helplessness as you watch a city you once loved slowly become unrecognizable, its once bright corners dimmed by the shadow of crime. The magic of connection is replaced by the cold reality of vigilance. But what happens when the very institutions meant to protect you become overwhelmed, or worse, seem to turn a blind eye to the suffering, allowing a new, insidious form of exploitation to take root, preying on the most vulnerable? This is where the story takes an even darker turn, revealing how the desperate search for solace can lead to unimaginable horrors. Los Angeles, for decades, was seen as a haven for self-discovery, a place where people came to heal, to reinvent themselves, to find their inner peace amidst the sprawling beauty of its landscapes. The city, with its wellness retreats and spiritual centers, promised a path to mental clarity and emotional well-being. We remember the days when seeking help for mental health was a quiet, personal journey, supported by a system, however imperfect, that at least acknowledged the need. There was a sense that, here, amidst the sunshine and open spaces, one could truly find a fresh start, a sanctuary for the mind and soul. The soul of LA, in its purest form, offered a promise of renewal. Yet, as the city's heart grew colder, as the economic pressures mounted and the social fabric unraveled, the mental health of its citizens began a terrifying decline. The constant stress of survival, the crushing weight of homelessness, the gnawing fear of crime, these forces coalesced into a silent epidemic, unseen by many but felt by all. The promise of healing gave way to the harsh reality of widespread despair. We've all seen the vacant stares, the whispered conversations with unseen figures, the desperate cries for help echoing unheard on street corners. The magic of self-improvement was replaced by the brutal struggle for sanity, a fight often lost in the shadows. The numbers are horrifying. Emergency room visits for mental health crises have surged by over 40% in the past decade, according to County Health Services data.
And tragically, Los Angeles County recorded over 2,700 overdose deaths last year, a stark illustration of the opioid and fentanyl crisis that has gripped the city, turning its streets into open-air drug markets. This isn't just a problem. It's a catastrophic failure of support, a testament to how deeply the city's soul has been wounded. These aren't just statistics. They are lives shattered, families torn apart, individuals reduced to a shadow of their former selves. We've all felt the helplessness of witnessing someone struggle, the profound sadness of seeing human dignity eroded. You felt this too, that sense of unease, the moral pang when you walk past someone clearly in distress, caught in the grip of addiction or mental illness. We've all questioned what could have led them there, what systems failed, what hope was extinguished. The echo of their suffering resonates with our own anxieties, reminding us of the fragility of well-being in a city that often feels indifferent. It's the feeling of society turning a blind eye, the loss of human connection as we navigate a landscape where compassion often feels like a luxury. But even as these individual tragedies multiplied, a more systematic form of exploitation began to take root, one that preyed not just on vulnerability, but on the very desire for justice, trapping victims in a bureaucratic nightmare from which escape seemed impossible. This is a story of betrayal, where the pursuit of a better life became a sentence of endless struggle. Los Angeles, for generations, was heralded as a city of refuge, a place where the rule of law promised fairness and due process, even to the most vulnerable. We remember a time when the legal system, though imperfect, was seen as a shield, especially for those who arrived seeking a new beginning, a chance to build a life free from oppression. There was an unspoken belief that justice, however slow, would ultimately prevail, that the intricate web of laws and regulations existed to protect, not to ensnare. The magic of American opportunity, fortified by a commitment to equitable treatment, drew millions, promising that here your rights would be respected, your voice heard. It was a beacon of hope, a place where the pursuit of a better life was understood to be a sacred quest, deserving of protection. But this promise, like so many others, began to erode. As desperation deepened and the city's soul grew colder, a new form of exploitation took root, one that weaponized the very systems meant to offer protection. The once sturdy shield of the law became a tool for the unscrupulous, a labyrinth designed to trap the unwary. Greed, a familiar echo in this city's downfall, found fertile ground in the bureaucracy, transforming legal processes into instruments of betrayal. We saw it happen, a slow perversion of justice, where the pursuit of truth was replaced by the pursuit of profit, often at the expense of those least able to defend themselves. The dream of a fair fight, of equal standing before the law, became a cruel illusion for countless individuals caught in this insidious web. Consider the chilling reality of predatory legal practices and bureaucratic traps. Reports from the Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles highlight a shocking 70% of low-income residents facing civil legal issues without any representation, leaving them vulnerable to eviction, wage theft, and outright fraud. Immigration services, once a lifeline, have become a minefield of unscrupulous consultants, charging exorbitant fees for services never rendered, or worse, submitting fraudulent paperwork that leads to deportation. The California State Bar has issued numerous warnings about these notario fraud schemes, yet the problem persists, ensnaring thousands each year. We're talking about individuals who hand over their life savings, their last vestiges of hope, to con artists operating under the guise of legal assistance. They're left with nothing but shattered dreams and insurmountable legal burdens. These aren't isolated incidents. They are systemic failures, a testament to how the city's most vulnerable are left to fend for themselves against a tide of calculated exploitation. The justice system, for many, has become another source of profound trauma. You felt this too, that overwhelming frustration when navigating complex paperwork, the dread of a looming deadline you don't fully understand, the sinking feeling that you're being taken advantage of simply because you lack the right connections or knowledge.
We've all experienced the cold indifference of bureaucracy, the sense of powerlessness when faced with a system that feels designed to confuse rather than clarify. Imagine that feeling amplified 100-fold when your very future, your family's safety, or your freedom hangs in the balance, and the people you trust to help you are in fact preying on your vulnerability.
The echo of their despair resonates with our own anxieties about fairness and equity. It's the profound loss of faith in a system that should protect, but instead betrays. What happens when the very institutions meant to uphold justice become complicit in its perversion, opening the door to an even more insidious form of control and abuse, one that operates in the shadows of the city's most glamorous industries? This is where the truth becomes truly disturbing. We all remember the allure of Los Angeles, the shimmering promise of Hollywood, a city where dreams were made and talent was rewarded. It was a place synonymous with ambition, a magnet for those seeking their big break, a fair shot in the entertainment industry, or a stable job in its booming economy. The magic of possibility, the belief that hard work and dedication would open doors, was a powerful force that drew millions.
People arrived with stars in their eyes, trusting that the vibrant industries here, from film to hospitality, offered legitimate pathways to success and a dignified life, a place where their skills would be valued and their efforts respected. Yet beneath this glittering facade, a far more sinister reality took hold, preying on that very ambition and hope. As the city's moral compass wavered, the pursuit of power and illicit profit led to the rise of modern-day slavery, hidden in plain sight within the very industries that symbolize Los Angeles's glamour. The promise of opportunity was twisted into a cruel trap, ensnaring the innocent and the desperate. We saw it happen, a quiet perversion where the hunger for a better life became a vulnerability, exploited by those who trafficked in human beings. The dream, once so bright, curdled into a nightmare of forced labor, sexual exploitation, and debt bondage, shattering lives and leaving indelible scars.
The statistics are chilling, revealing a pervasive network of human trafficking that operates largely unseen. According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, California consistently ranks among the top states for reported cases, with Los Angeles serving as a major hub. Survivors' testimonies paint a harrowing picture. Young hopefuls lured by fake modeling contracts, undocumented workers trapped in restaurant kitchens with impossible deaths, domestic laborers held captive in opulent homes, all stripped of their freedom and dignity. Law enforcement sources confirm that these networks exploit individuals across every demographic, from vulnerable youth to international migrants, leveraging their desperation for work or a better life. This isn't just a crime, it's a profound betrayal of the human spirit, a systematic dehumanization that turns people into commodities.
The sheer audacity of these operations, thriving amidst the city's wealth and celebrity, is a stark reminder of the dark forces at play, forces that mock the very idea of justice. You felt this too, that powerful desire to achieve, to make a name for yourself, to secure a better future for your family. We've all experienced moments of vulnerability, moments when the promise of a solution seems too good to be true, but desperation whispers for us to believe. Imagine that feeling weaponized, your dreams turned against you, every hope you held used as a chain to bind you. The echo of their lost freedom, their stolen voices, resonates with our own innate need for autonomy and respect. It's the profound shame of a society that allows such atrocities to flourish, the crushing realization that even in a city of dreams, nightmares are being manufactured daily.
But even as these hidden chains bind individuals, another, more visible crisis unfolds daily, one that threatens the very fabric of public safety and communal well-being, turning once safe spaces into battlegrounds. We all remember the allure of Los Angeles, the shimmering promise of Hollywood, a city where dreams were made and talent was rewarded. It was a place synonymous with ambition, a magnet for those seeking their big break, a fair shot in the entertainment industry, or a stable job in its booming economy. The magic of possibility, the belief that hard work and dedication would open doors, was a powerful force that drew millions. People arrived with stars in their eyes, trusting that the vibrant industries here, from film to hospitality, offered legitimate pathways to success and a dignified life, a place where their skills would be valued and their efforts respected.
Yet, beneath this glittering facade, a far more sinister reality took hold, preying on that very ambition and hope. As the city's moral compass wavered, the pursuit of power and illicit profit led to the rise of modern-day slavery, hidden in plain sight within the very industries that symbolize Los Angeles's glamour. The promise of opportunity was twisted into a cruel trap, ensnaring the innocent and the desperate. We saw it happen, a quiet perversion where the hunger for a better life became a vulnerability, exploited by those who trafficked in human beings. The dream, once so bright, curdled into a nightmare of forced labor, sexual exploitation, and debt bondage, shattering lives and leaving indelible scars. The statistics are chilling, revealing a pervasive network of human trafficking that operates largely unseen. According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, California consistently ranks among the top states for reported cases, with Los Angeles serving as a major hub.
Survivors' testimonies paint a harrowing picture. Young hopefuls lured by fake modeling contracts, undocumented workers trapped in restaurant kitchens with impossible deaths, domestic laborers held captive in opulent homes, all stripped of their freedom and dignity. Law enforcement sources confirm that these networks exploit individuals across every demographic, from vulnerable youth to international migrants, leveraging their desperation for work or a better life. This isn't just a crime, it's a profound betrayal of the human spirit, a systematic dehumanization that turns people into commodities. The sheer audacity of these operations, thriving amidst the city's wealth and celebrity, is a stark reminder of the dark forces at play, forces that mock the very idea of justice. You felt this too, that powerful desire to achieve, to make a name for yourself, to secure a better future for your family. We've all experienced moments of vulnerability, moments when the promise of a solution seems too good to be true, but desperation whispers for us to believe. Imagine that feeling weaponized, your dreams turned against you, every hope you held used as a chain to bind you. The echo of their lost freedom, their stolen voices, resonates with our own innate need for autonomy and respect. It's the profound shame of a society that allows such atrocities to flourish, the crushing realization that even in a city of dreams, nightmares are being manufactured daily. But even as these hidden chains bind individuals, another, more visible crisis unfolds daily, one that threatens the very fabric of public safety and communal well-being, turning once safe spaces into battlegrounds. Los Angeles was renowned for its sprawling parks, its iconic beaches, its bustling public libraries, places where diverse communities converged. We remember the vibrant energy of Griffith Park on a sunny Sunday, the serene calm of a neighborhood library, the easy camaraderie on the metro. These were the lungs of the city, shared spaces where everyone, regardless of their background, could find a moment of peace, recreation, or learning. The magic of communal life, the sense of belonging that came from these shared experiences, was a cornerstone of the city's appeal. It was a testament to a civic pride that nurtured public well-being. But this collective memory now feels like a distant echo. As the city's heart grew colder and desperation took root, these vital public spaces began to transform, becoming battlegrounds of survival rather than havens of community. The very air began to change, charged not with possibility, but with an underlying tension. We saw it happen, a slow, agonizing decay. As parks became permanent encampments, libraries struggled with a new kind of crisis, and public transport morphed into a stage for the city's deepest wounds. The shared spaces, once symbols of unity, became stark indicators of division and neglect. The transformation is undeniable. Consider Pershing Square, once a vibrant downtown hub, now a stark symbol of urban decay, where public access is often overshadowed by the pervasive presence of homelessness and open drug use. Similarly, Reports from the Los Angeles Parks and Recreation Department detail a significant decline in visitor numbers for many inner-city parks, attributing it to safety concerns and the proliferation of unsheltered populations. Public transportation, too, has become a flashpoint. Metro ridership has plummeted by over 20% in recent years, with a substantial portion of former riders citing concerns about personal safety, harassment, and the widespread visibility of mental health crises and drug use on trains and buses. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how people interact with their city, a retreat from communal life driven by fear. These aren't just isolated incidents, they are systemic failures, a testament to how the city's most basic civic functions have been compromised. You felt this too, that hesitant glance before entering a public park, the instinct to avoid certain bus stops, the profound sadness of seeing once beautiful spaces overwhelmed by despair. We've all witnessed the growing tension, the palpable anxiety that now hangs heavy in the air, transforming simple outings into exercises in vigilance. The loss isn't just aesthetic. It's the loss of freedom, the erosion of the fundamental belief that you can safely navigate your own city. It's the feeling of helplessness as you watch public spaces, once vibrant with life, slowly become unrecognizable, their once bright corners dimmed by the shadow of neglect and suffering. The magic of shared experience is replaced by the cold reality of caution. But what happens when the very institutions meant to uphold civic order become paralyzed, allowing this decay to fester and even contribute to a sense of abandonment, leading to a new, terrifying form of organized chaos that preys on the unsuspecting, turning even the most mundane daily routines into potential nightmares? This is where the truth becomes truly disturbing, revealing how desperation and a lack of oversight can create fertile ground for new, ruthless predators. Los Angeles was once an unparalleled global capital for retail, a shopper's paradise where luxury boutiques lined Rodeo Drive and vibrant malls like the Grove offered an experience, not just a transaction. We remember the joy of browsing, the anticipation of finding something special, the simple pleasure of a day out, perhaps enjoying a meal or a movie afterward. It was a place where consumerism in its purest form was an art, a reflection of the city's aspirational soul, a vibrant heartbeat of its economy. The streets felt safe, the stores welcoming, and the act of shopping itself was a social ritual, a testament to prosperity and the magic of dreams made tangible. There was an unspoken trust that public order would be maintained, that your property and your person were secure, allowing you to immerse yourself fully in the experience, free from worry. But then, something profoundly disturbing began to infect this once sacred domain. As the city's foundations crumbled under the weight of economic disparity and civic neglect, a new, brazen form of organized chaos emerged, turning retail havens into scenes of terrifying lawlessness. The pursuit of easy gain, fueled by desperation and a shocking lack of accountability, transformed casual shopping into a high-stakes gamble, a nerve-wracking ordeal. We saw it happen, a rapid and terrifying escalation from petty theft to orchestrated smash-and-grabs, where groups of masked individuals descended upon stores, looting with impunity in broad daylight, often overwhelming staff and customers alike. The magic of a pleasant outing was replaced by the cold dread of potential confrontation, the fear of being caught in the crossfire of a decaying social order, where the rules seem to no longer apply. The numbers are stark and unforgiving, illustrating a crisis that has reshaped the urban landscape. The California Retailers Association estimates that organized retail crime costs businesses in the state billions of dollars annually, with Los Angeles County being a primary target, bearing the brunt of this escalating menace. Major retailers like Nordstrom, CVS, and Rite Aid have reported exponential increases in theft, leading to widespread store closures, a visible blight on once thriving commercial corridors, and the devastating loss of thousands of jobs, further exacerbating the city's economic woes and sense of despair.
Just last year, the Los Angeles Police Department reported a 47% increase in organized retail theft incidents compared to 5 years prior, with flash mob robberies becoming a chillingly common occurrence, broadcast across social media as a perverse badge of defiance. These aren't random acts of desperation. They are meticulously planned operations, often coordinated through encrypted messaging apps, transforming once bustling shopping districts into zones of vulnerability and fear. We're talking about more than just stolen merchandise. We're talking about the systematic dismantling of a vital economic sector, the obliteration of local businesses, and the profound psychological impact on employees who face daily threats and customers alike who now live with a constant undercurrent of anxiety. The very idea of public safety, once taken for granted, has been shattered, leaving a gaping wound in the city's once vibrant commercial heart. You've felt this too, that tightening knot of anxiety when you hear about another store being targeted, the instinct to avoid certain shopping centers, the profound sadness of seeing once iconic establishments shuttered, their windows boarded up, a stark testament to what has been irrevocably lost. We've all witnessed the growing tension, the palpable sense of unease that now permeates public spaces, turning simple errands into exercises in heightened vigilance, a constant scanning of your surroundings for potential threats. The loss isn't just financial, it's the erosion of a fundamental freedom, the inability to move through your own city without fear of being caught in a wave of opportunistic crime, or worse, becoming a victim yourself. Your sense of security irrevocably shattered. It's the feeling of helplessness as you watch public order crumble, the once bright promise of a safe urban experience dimmed by the shadow of these ruthless predators who operate with shocking impunity. The magic of communal trust, of a shared understanding of civility and mutual respect, is replaced by the cold reality of caution and self-preservation, a constant awareness that danger could strike at any moment, turning a normal day into an unforgettable nightmare. But what happens when this breakdown of order extends beyond commerce? When the very infrastructure designed to protect and serve the community becomes a target, or worse, a source of danger itself, leaving essential services teetering on the brink of collapse? This is where the truth becomes truly alarming, revealing how desperation and a lack of oversight can create fertile ground for new, ruthless predators, not just in stores, but within the very systems we depend on for survival. Los Angeles once boasted an infrastructure that was the envy of the world, a testament to American ingenuity. We remember the smooth freeways, the reliable power grid that fueled Hollywood's dreams, the efficient water systems that brought life to the desert, and emergency services that were a beacon of swift, professional response. The magic of a well-oiled city, a metropolis where essential services were simply a given, was a source of collective pride. There was an unspoken confidence that the city could always handle whatever came its way, a bedrock of stability beneath the glitz. But this bedrock began to fracture, silently at first, then with increasingly alarming tremors. As civic priorities shifted and budgets tightened, the vital arteries of the city were neglected. The pursuit of short-term gains overshadowed the long-term maintenance of essential systems. We saw it happen, a slow, agonizing decay, where the very lifelines we depended on became fragile, vulnerable. The promise of an unyielding urban machine gave way to the harsh reality of systemic failure, leaving its citizens exposed and helpless. Consider the alarming state of public utilities and emergency response. Reports from the American Society of Civil Engineers consistently give California's infrastructure a C grade, citing massive underinvestment in roads, bridges, and, crucially, water and wastewater systems. Parts of Los Angeles's water pipes are over 100 years old, leading to frequent main breaks and water contamination advisories, impacting hundreds of thousands. Power outages have become a disturbingly common occurrence, sometimes leaving entire neighborhoods in darkness for days. Even more critically, emergency response times have seen a concerning increase. Fire department data indicates that average ambulance response times in some high-density areas have risen by nearly 30% over the last decade, a delay that can mean the difference between life and death. These aren't just inconveniences, they are direct threats to public health and safety, a testament to how the city's ability to protect its own has been dangerously compromised. You felt this too, that surge of panic when the lights flicker and die, the dread of a siren wailing in the distance, knowing help might be delayed, the profound frustration of a vital service failing when you need it most.
We've all experienced the growing anxiety of living in a city where the basic framework of modern life feels increasingly precarious. The loss isn't just about efficiency, it's the erosion of a fundamental sense of security, the belief that your city has your back in a crisis. It's the feeling of helplessness as you watch the very foundations of urban living slowly crumble, their once bright promise dimmed by the shadow of neglect. The magic of reliable service is replaced by the cold reality of contingency planning. But what happens when this neglect extends beyond the man-made, when the very environment turns hostile, and the city's broken promises are echoed by the earth itself, threatening lives with fire, mud, and polluted air? This is where the truth becomes truly terrifying, revealing how a disregard for balance can unleash forces far beyond human control. Los Angeles, cradled between mountains and ocean, was once celebrated for its breathtaking natural beauty, a place where sunshine and fresh air were part of the very fabric of life. We remember the pristine beaches, the verdant canyons, the clear skies that showcased its iconic sunsets. The magic of living in harmony with nature, of breathing clean air and enjoying abundant natural resources was a powerful draw, a promise of health and vitality. There was a sense that this city, for all its urban sprawl, held a deep connection to the wild, a respect for the delicate balance of its unique ecosystem. But this balance was profoundly disrupted, poisoned by unchecked development and a cynical disregard for environmental stewardship. The pursuit of endless growth, fueled by greed, led to the systematic degradation of air, water, and land.
We saw it happen, a slow, agonizing suffocation as smog choked the skies. Wildfires raged with unprecedented fury, and once pristine waterways became conduits for pollution. The promise of a healthy environment gave way to the harsh reality of ecological crisis, leaving its citizens to bear the silent, insidious burden of a poisoned world. Consider the insidious threat of environmental decay and its catastrophic consequences. Los Angeles consistently ranks among the worst cities in the nation for air quality, with millions regularly breathing unhealthy levels of ozone and particulate matter, leading to soaring rates of asthma and respiratory illnesses, particularly in low-income communities. The Santa Ana winds, once a natural phenomenon, now fan devastating wildfires, fueled by decades of drought and encroaching development, destroying thousands of homes and displacing tens of thousands annually. The aftermath often brings deadly mudslides, turning hillsides into rivers of debris. Reports from the Environmental Protection Agency frequently cite areas within Los Angeles County for elevated levels of lead and other toxins in soil and water, disproportionately affecting communities of color. These aren't just acts of nature, they are exacerbated disasters, a testament to how human neglect and systemic injustice have turned the very elements against the city's most vulnerable. You felt this too, that tightness in your chest on a smoggy day, the fear in your gut as wildfire smoke darkens the horizon, the profound anxiety of wondering if the water you drink is truly safe. We've all experienced the growing sense of vulnerability, the chilling realization that even the air we breathe and the ground we stand on are no longer guaranteed to be benign. The loss isn't just about scenic views, it's the erosion of a fundamental right to a healthy environment, the belief that your home is a sanctuary from the elements. It's the feeling of helplessness as you watch the natural world, once a source of beauty and solace, slowly become a source of profound danger, its once bright promise dimmed by the shadow of human folly. The magic of a pristine landscape is replaced by the cold reality of environmental peril. We've seen the city's spirit fray, its promises shatter, and its people suffer through 10 extreme situations that victims will never forget. But what does it all mean for the future and for the very soul of Los Angeles? The glittering facade has crumbled, revealing a truth far darker, far more profound than any Hollywood script.
We've journeyed through the 10 extreme situations that have reshaped Los Angeles, from the crushing weight of the housing crisis to the brazen chaos of organized crime, from the silent epidemic of mental health struggles to the insidious chains of human trafficking, from the decay of public spaces to the crumbling lifelines of infrastructure, and finally, to the environmental betrayal that poisons the very air. Each story a testament to a city that, somewhere along the way, lost its soul. Empty tables, empty streets, empty dreams. The echo of what was whispers through the canyons, a ghost of a golden age. The magic of Los Angeles, once a vibrant, undeniable force, feels distant now, replaced by a cold, hard reality. We saw it happen, the slow erosion of trust, the gnawing fear, the profound loss of human dignity. It's a tragedy unfolding in plain sight, a warning etched into the very fabric of the city. Maybe there's still hope.
Perhaps in recognizing these truths, in confronting the shadows head-on, we can begin to heal. Picture a city glowing in silence, not with the false promises of old, but with the quiet strength of resilience, a community that remembers its past mistakes and dares to dream of a different future. We saw it happen, the decay, the despair, the betrayal. It's time we remember what it used to mean, what it could still mean to live in a city that truly cares for all its people. It's time we demand a return to the magic, to the soul, to the promise that once drew millions to this land. If you felt this change too, if these stories resonated with your own experiences or fears, share your story in the comments below. Let your voice be heard. And if you found this eye-opening, if these revelations brought a new understanding of the forces shaping our world, subscribe. The next story might just reveal where everyone's going next and what we can do to reclaim the future.